All right, so today we're taking a look at the city of Shillong. What's happening there is, well, it's a perfect case study. You've got this huge grand vision for a new Shillong on one hand, and on the other, you have the absolute daily nightmare of traffic gridlock. It's that classic story, isn't it? Futuristic promises clashing head-on with really messy present-day problems.
And this quote from our source material, wow, it just gets right to the heart of it. It really captures that deep frustration from citizens who feel like their immediate, everyday struggles are just being ignored for these grand, far-off plans.
You know, for the people who live there, this isn't some abstract policy debate. It's their reality, every single day. Just imagine being stuck in never-ending traffic, breathing in polluted air, and seeing all these development projects that just never seem to get started. That's the scene we're diving into.
So first up, let's really break down the tangible, on-the-ground problems. What does this urban chaos actually look and feel like for the people living in the middle of it?
What we're seeing here is a really vicious cycle. The constant traffic jams, of course, lead to higher pollution. Then you have unplanned development just clogging up the roads even more. And the official plans that are supposed to fix everything, well, they're stuck in limbo, basically going nowhere.
And this brings us right to the core of the conflict. You've got the Shilling that exists today, and then there's this shiny, perfect version that seems to only exist in government press releases. Let's really look at this disconnect. This comparison just lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you have the daily grind, gridlock, chaos, projects that are completely stalled. And on the other side, the vision of New Shillong, with its grand promises and glowing headlines. The tension between these two is really what this whole debate is about.
So this is the big question that so many observers and citizens are asking. Is all this focus on a shiny new city a genuine plan for the future? Or is it maybe a clever way to avoid dealing with the messy, difficult problems of right now?
And here's the argument from critics spelled out perfectly. By pushing this futuristic vision, the government gets to project an image of progress and action. But all of this happens while the tangible relief that people need right now, less traffic, cleaner air, is being completely ignored.
Okay, so if the problems are so obvious, why on earth aren't they being fixed? Let's dig into the real reasons behind this paralysis.
It's really easy to point fingers at one single thing. But the reality is way more complicated. The source material points to a whole systemic breakdown that's preventing any real movement on the ground.
So it's not a lack of plans, it's a total lack of execution. We're talking about administrative sluggishness, different departments not talking to each other, and a real failure to get over major hurdles, like acquiring land to make roads wider. It's a complete breakdown in just getting things done.
And let's get specific. These aren't some minor side projects. Khyndailad and Iew Duh are two of the city's absolute busiest commercial hubs. Plans to redevelop them, and even just the basic task of relocating utilities, which is step one for any major construction, are all completely stalled. These are crystal clear examples of the inertia we're talking about.
But it's not all doom and gloom. The source also points to a pretty clear path forward, and it's one that isn't driven by the government, but by the citizens themselves. Now, this is a really powerful shift in perspective. If the top-down approach is failing, maybe the solution has to come from the bottom up. It's all about empowerment, and frankly, demanding some accountability.
So here's the proposed game plan, broken down into 3 pretty clear, actionable steps. First, demand a public, time-bound action plan from the authorities. No more vague promises. Second, shift the entire focus away from private cars and towards public transport. And third, and this one is so important, bring the governance down to the local, neighborhood level.
So what exactly are these ward-level committees? Well, think of them as a direct line for accountability. They're designed to give residents a real voice in planning what happens in their own neighborhoods. And more importantly, the power to hold officials responsible for results, not just for promises.
And that leaves us with this final question. The whole story of Shillong really forces us to think about what city building is really all about. Is it about these grand, headline-grabbing projects for tomorrow? Or is it about the hard, unglamorous work of just making life better for people today? Definitely something to think about.